second video of the day because we have some New Orleans Saints injury news that just could not wait until tomorrow. So the injury report is absolutely loaded. There's 15 names on it from the New Orleans Saints, and there's also some roster news to discuss. So I'm going to break down all of that here on today's video, step by step, player by player. So let's get into it. The roster moves. We mentioned this one at the very top, Dan Sorenensen being waived. We mentioned that in our video earlier today, but just wanted to mention it because it is a recent roster move in case you missed it. Linebacker Monty Rice was awarded to the New Orleans Saints on waivers. Defensive tackle PJ Mustipher was signed off the Broncos practice squad. Defensive tackle Malcolm Roach, unfortunately, was placed on IR after a very good start to the season. And Marcus Maye was also placed on IR as well. So let's talk about these roster additions really, really quickly. Just kind of get you familiar with our newest members of the New Orleans Saints. So linebacker Monty Rice. He is a player that I don't think he's going to make a massive difference. I think, if anything, he's more rotational, and he's a guy that can help out, maybe let Zach Bond go and blitz a little bit more. Maybe you get a guy who can be a rotational piece. I know that the Saints defense has struggled, but credit to Dennis Allen on one thing. He always gets the most out of his defensive players, no matter how good or how bad that they may be. Indeed, defensive tackle PJ Mustipher. He's a rookie that was signed off of the Broncos practice squad. Mustipher, barely know her. Thank you, Jeremy Chugs. Appreciate that one. But yeah, so these are your two newest members of the New Orleans Saints. These guys will be rocking the black and gold. Gonna be honest, don't bank on them playing this week. Just, there is that. But let's talk about the players on IR. Malcolm Roach, absolutely, it sucks that he's on IR. He's been very, very talented this year. He's a rotational guy behind Colin Saunders and Nathan Shepard, and every year we've seen him play, he's gotten that much better. So this one's a definite miss, especially because you're going to miss him in the trenches. He breaks up passes, he gets tackles, he hits the quarterback, and he's a guy who I very much so enjoy watching. Marcus Maye, 2 interceptions, 2 pass breakups, 37 tackles. He is a player that right next to Tyrann Mathieu, you're going to notice that loss. However, I will say this. You got Jordan Howden, and he has been stellar. You elevated Jonathan Abram to the active roster last week as well because Marcus Maye was dealing with injuries. So there you go. They're on IR, meaning they're out for 4 weeks, meaning their season is over. But guys, this is why you subscribe. 2 videos in 1 day. And if you include our short we put out this morning, that's 3. So if you want more content around the New Orleans Saints, whether it's news, rumors, coaching stuff, or any fun, interactive, live content, I encourage you to subscribe, turn on your notifications, and join the almost 24,000 members of the Who Dat Nation we have here today. So the full participant, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys this, preface this. It's the only good news we have right now, unfortunately. So Blake Grupe, he was a full participant, as we know. Last week, he was on the injury report. The Saints added a kicker to the practice squad in case Grupe was not able to go last week. However, we saw him. He was ready to go last week. So there you go. He's a full participant. And coming up, I have the full list of limited and full, the players who did not participate and the limited participants. Sorry for the typo down there, y'all. But before we get into that, I want to give a very special shout out to today's presenting sponsor, PrizePicks. And guys, I know that these Saints games are not fun. They're an absolute drag, but you might as well go and make some money. So if you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and you plug in promo code CLNS, you can get up to a $100 deposit match on PrizePicks. So here are the projections I'm rolling with. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. You look on your screen, it's so simple. I see Mitchell Trubisky, 181.5 passing yards. I'm going to click less. I see Bailey Zappi, 156.5 passing yards. I'm going to click less. And then after that, I'm going to place my projection, and I'm going to win some money. It's real money, real time, and it's real fun. So go get started with PrizePicks. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS. All that information in the comment section, description of this video. PrizePicks. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. All right, so here are the players who did not participate. There's 7 of them. So Isaiah Foskey is dealing with that quadricep, did not participate today. Taysom Hill has a foot injury and a left hand. Cameron Jordan, this one stinks. He has an ankle injury, so he did not participate today. Hopefully these guys can all go, especially these bottom two guys. But here are the rest of the non-participants. Marcus Maye and Malcolm Roach, as we said, placed on IR. Kendre Miller, he's still dealing with that ankle issue. Rashid Shaheed did not play last week because of that thigh injury. And I just want to give a quick little, give my 2 cents and give my opinions on some of this. For Taysom Hill specifically, I can't say I'm surprised. I mean, we've been asking Pete Carmichael and Dennis Allen saying, hey, did you forget number 7's on your roster? Did you forget the Stormin' Mormon as a guy who is really good at football? But now, I'm not going to lie, they overused him. Like, you want to see him get utilized. You want to put the ball in your best player's hands, but he got beat the F up against Detroit, y'all. He got a lot of run. He got a lot of activity. So I can't say I'm surprised that Taysom Hill is on this injury report, unfortunately. And as for Rashid Shaheed, this is a player that the New Orleans Saints definitely are missing. I think if you would have had Shaheed last week, who knows what could have happened in that game? I mean, you were within a possession at the end of the game, and you could have had one more absolutely electric player on the field, take a little bit of pressure off of Taysom Hill, take some pressure off of Chris Olave, take some pressure off of Juwan Johnson, Foster Moreau, Alvin Kamara. You see what I'm saying? His impact is not just on the field. His impact is when he's also off the field. It really hurts the team, and Rashid Shaheed is a quality football player. So, boo! 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 If you hate injuries and you think that they absolutely stink worse than your dirty laundry, I need you to type F injuries in the comment section. So let's get to some, I guess you could say, positive injury news. Derek Carr. I know you guys don't love him. I know you guys may hate him. I don't care what you guys think. He's one tough son of a bitch. So concussion, rib, and shoulder injury, but he was a limited participant. I would not be surprised if he tries to play on Sunday against the Panthers. I got some thoughts here I want to get to in a minute on Carr, but Jimmy Graham, per usual, he had a rest day, but was a limited participant rather than did not participate at all. Juwan Johnson, he's dealing with the quadricep, and he was limited as well. Eric McCoy, the trenches are freaking beat up. And Eric McCoy, one of your best offensive linemen, he's dealing with a shoulder injury. He suffered that injury against the Falcons. You want to see him be healthy. You want to see him get right because he has been a top 5, top 6 center according to PFF across the entire NFL. So you definitely want him back. Andrus Peat, the guard, the tackle, whatever you want to call him, he's dealing with a shoulder injury. It's death, taxes, and Andrus Peat injuries. And Ryan Ramczyk, he was on the rest day per usual, but he also has a knee injury. And Pete Werner, it's not he was a limited participant. He had a shoulder and oblique injury. Pete Werner is a very big piece of the Saints defense, and so really want to see him play on Sunday as well because this is a must-win game. So I want to just talk about Derek Carr and whether or not I believe he should start this week. So I want to give credit to DC first. Like, I know last time I did this, a lot of y'all were like, I don't care that he's tough. I don't care that he can play, but because when he plays, it's bad. All right, let's just have a heart-to-heart here. Would you really want your, friends getting hurt? Do you want to see your dad fall down the stairs and get hurt? Do you want to see cousin Terry roll his ankle? No. You want to see the people that are involved in things that you care about. You want to see them out there, and you want to see them play. And I don't care if you hate Derek Carr. I'm not a big Derek Carr fan, but you got to give him credit. He is a tough SOB. But I will say this, do not try to be a hero here. Don't try and force something to happen. It's not like you're right on the verge of the playoffs, right there, you're going to make it happen. Sure, you're on the verge of winning the NFC South, but you struggled every time you played an NFC South team outside of the Panthers, who are the worst team in football. This season is close to slipping away, so I don't want to see Derek Carr just continue to re-aggravate and get more and more and more hurt, because that's just going to continue to tear this locker room apart, and it's going to continue to cause problems for the Saints. And I'm going to say this, do not shoot the messenger. Whether you like it or not, Derek Carr is going to be on the roster next year. They're not going to cut him. It costs more money to cut him than keep him. They're not going to do that. The Saints are in cap hell. If they had a ton of money to just burn, maybe. But that's not the case here. Derek Carr will be on the roster next year. So don't overdo this. Don't be stupid. If you're hurt, sit. You have Jameis Winston. You have Jake Haener. If Taysom Hill is good to go, you even have him as well. But that is not what you need to be doing. You do not need to go out and play, and you don't need to go and risk further injury just to try and be a hero and to try to be the savior of the team. But I want you to let me know, Who should start on week 1? Assuming all 3 of them can go. Assuming all 3 quarterbacks are healthy. Obviously, Taysom Hill, he did not participate, so we didn't include him here. But I want you to let me know. Type DC for Derek Carr, JW for Jameis Winston, or give me a JH for Jake Haener down below. And guys, like I said off the top of this show, this is our second video of the day. So if you want to check out the video earlier, I actually discussed whether or not I think Jake Haener should get some reps in this week's game if Derek Carr can't play. That was before the injury report came out. Now that's looking like there could be a real possibility. So the link is available in the comment section and description of this video. I encourage you to go watch that video after this one. But as always, Saints fans, if there's any other updates, if there's any other notable things we need to talk about, I have you covered here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. This is why you subscribe, and this is why you stay golden. We'll see you next time.